morning. It's Friday, March 24th. And once again, I have to speak out against guns in this country. Guns are a major problem in this country, but for some reason, because of that stupid wording in the Second Amendment, the guns continue to cause major problems all around this country. And none of the gun problems is larger than the shootings that go on in schools. The school shootings have created an atmosphere of deadly fear around this country, where school districts are hiring armed guards to protect the students in the schools, pissing away valuable money that could be used to educate those students. Now we have another shooting. This shooting takes place in a Denver high school, where 2 faculty members were shot by a student on Wednesday. And they haven't found this student yet. There's a frantic search on for this 17-year-old suspect who fled the scene after firing his weapon. And authorities said they located a body a short distance from the vehicle connected to the suspect, but have not yet identified the body at this particular moment. But here is the craziest thing of all in this incident. The suspect, the student, a 17-year-old kid in the shooting, was under the school safety plan. Now, I didn't realize that schools would put such a ridiculous plan in motion, but this school safety plan had this student patted down every day. So you have a student coming to school who is believed to be a culprit, a deadly person. He gets patted down every day when he comes to school. I submit to you that that's madness. The madness is even allowing this kid into school. Why do you want to take the time and effort to pat a kid down, to offer him an education when he is a menace to society? Because you've got to be a menace to society if you're getting patted down when you appear to be educated. When you come to a school, they pat you down. I never heard of such a ridiculous rule. Madness. The guns in this country are terrifying. The situation in this country is terrifying. And I am so against having guards in school and things like that. But the insanity of allowing a student to come to class every day and you have to pat him down, what will the next step be? The kids who come to school who are a menace to society will be handcuffed, chained to their chairs? Don't we have better methodology to take care of people with problems like that? How many parents of these children who go to this high school knew that there was somebody in there that was being patted down every day? And what would happen if this was a woman, a young girl being patted down? There would be a ruckus like all hell broke loose. So what were they thinking in this Denver high school? This kid should have been never allowed into school if you're going to pat him down every day. And what would happen if there are other students that need to be patted down? Every morning we're going to line up a bunch of kids and pat them down? Is that what the school systems are coming to? Ridiculous methodologies to treat the firearm issues in this country? It was one lucky thing that happened in this whole incident. Paramedics were at the school treating somebody that had an allergic reaction to something that was going on. Doesn't mention what it was. It could have been food, it could have been something in the air. Anyhow, these paramedics were in the building when the shooting took place. And so the 2 teachers that were shot were immediately taken care of by these paramedics. One of them ended up in critical condition. And probably it would have been much more serious if the paramedics weren't there. The other one was not seriously wounded. But in any event, that was a stroke of luck that these 2 paramedics were in the building at that particular time. And the student who did the shooting, he got away. They're still searching for him. Nobody knows where he went to. But he was described as wearing a hoodie with some kind of logo on it, you know. But he's out there roaming around. and he has his gun. So I ask you, is this a safe country when we're going to pat down students and allow them to attend classes? Don't we have better methods to think about, to take into account the types of people that we have created in this country? Education is to make people better, to give them a chance at a life. And we have guns interfering with that, interfering with the chances of people to grow up and do good things. We're going to have a bunch of people who have gone to schools for an education, and it'll be like they were in prison with armed guards marching the halls and teachers terrified. First of all, they don't even mention the child, the shooter's parents in this article. Does this kid have no parents who are watching out for him? If I had a child who was going to school and being patted down because he was in trouble, because he was a menace to the school, I wouldn't have that kid going to school. I would make sure that kid was educated at home or put away in a reform school or something. That's crazy. So the parents are never mentioned in this article. And the other thing they mention in this article is at this high school, they had demonstrations because it was not safe, because the students knew there were issues with gun safety in the school. So nobody's paying attention. And their answer is to pat down students. Now they have armed guards in the school. Now the school is closed for a couple of days until they figure out what they should do next. And the president of the Colorado Education Association said the gun violence problem is an issue that extends far beyond East High School and Denver. This is a Colorado problem and a national problem, she said. But the legislators in this state are not listening to our students. They're not listening to our educators. They're not listening to our communities. They are listening instead to the powerful and well-funded gun lobbyists. And together, they insist on fighting common sense gun legislation. There is no common sense gun legislation. Guns should be banned. There has to be a way to stop people from getting these weapons. But that's our country. We are mired in this gun culture. We will never give it up easily. So we are willing and content to live with these monstrous events that go on almost every week. And nobody is terrified by this. Nobody cares about it. That's the sad part. And those that care can't do enough because of those who want their weapons and don't care about the lives of others. That's it. Bye.